At the heart of a purposeful life lies an unwavering commitment to kindness and compassion, values that H&M have exemplified through every chapter of their journey. Their approach to leadership transcends the conventional, rooted instead in consistent acts of care that ripple outward, touching lives in ways both visible and profound. With hearts genuinely open and intentions that ring true, they have demonstrated that selfless love is far more than a noble sentiment. It is, in fact, a transformative force, capable of reshaping communities and inspiring others to embrace their own capacity for good. What sets them apart is not grand gestures or performative benevolence, but rather the quiet humility and sincerity woven into the fabric of their daily choices, a testament to the belief that meaningful impact is built not in moments of spectacle, but in the accumulation of small, thoughtful acts of compassion. Their legacy serves as a powerful reminder that when we lead with our hearts, remain humble in our convictions, and ground ourselves in genuine care for others, the effects of our kindness become not merely temporary kindnesses, but enduring pillars upon which stronger, more compassionate communities are built. At the very core of their existence lies an unwavering commitment to kindness, not as a fleeting gesture, but as the foundational principle that shapes every decision they make. H&M understand that compassion is far more than a feeling. It is the driving force that propels meaningful action, the compass that points them toward choices that genuinely matter. They live with intention, refusing to drift through life without purpose, instead cultivating values that resonate with their deepest convictions. This commitment to making a positive difference is woven into the fabric of who they are, evident in the way they move through the world with open hearts and sincere intentions. Their legacy is not built on grand proclamations, but on the quiet, consistent acts of care that ripple outward, transforming lives and communities. In living this way, guided by kindness and compassion, they demonstrate that a life of purpose is one rooted in genuine concern for others, where selfless love becomes the most powerful force for good imaginable. When we strip away the pursuit of personal gain and choose instead to act with genuine care for the collective good, something remarkable unfolds. Love becomes a catalyst for transformation that extends far beyond the moment of kindness itself. H&M's unwavering commitment to compassion demonstrates how selfless love ripples outward, touching lives in ways both seen and unseen, creating waves of positive change that strengthen entire communities. Each act of sincerity, each gesture rooted in humility rather than ego, builds bridges between hearts and fortifies the deeper human connections that form the very foundation of meaningful society. This is not love as sentiment or fleeting emotion, but love as a deliberate force, a conscious choice to prioritize the well-being of others, to listen with open hearts, and to invest genuine care into the lives we touch. In doing so, we discover that the most lasting impact comes not from what we gain for ourselves, but from the interconnected web of compassion we weave, where every thread of kindness strengthens the whole and reminds us of our shared humanity. H&M's approach to leadership transcends the conventional boardroom. It flows from a wellspring of genuine compassion that permeates every decision and interaction. Day after day, they demonstrate an unwavering commitment to prioritizing people's well-being above metrics, profit margins, or personal advancement, understanding that true strength lies not in command, but in care. Through their daily actions, a listening ear during difficult times, recognition of individual struggles, thoughtful support for team members, they set a living example of what it means to lead with an open heart and sincere intention. This consistent demonstration of compassionate leadership doesn't go unnoticed. Rather, it ignites something profound in those around them, inspiring colleagues and team members to shed the armour of indifference and lead with their own hearts exposed. In this way, H&M have become vessels of purposeful change, showing that selfless love isn't merely a philosophical ideal, but a transformative force, one that ripples outward, touching lives and reshaping workplace culture into something genuinely meaningful and deeply human. The transformative impact of living with purpose and humility, well, it's something that true leaders understand deeply. Influence, you see, is not a pedestal, but a responsibility, and this understanding begins with humility, the willingness to recognize one's own limitations and remain perpetually open to learning from those around us. H&M exemplified this virtue by never allowing their growing impact to create distance between themselves and others. Instead, they remained grounded in their values, approaching each new challenge with a quiet openness and grace that invited collaboration rather than demanded compliance. This modest confidence, rooted not in arrogance but in genuine self-awareness, became the cornerstone of the trust they built with everyone they encountered. By leading through consistent acts of care and sincerity, they demonstrated that the most powerful force for good is not the loudness of one's voice or the breadth of one's reach, but rather the depth of one's compassion and the authenticity of one's heart. A lesson that reminds us all that purpose-driven living requires us to hold our achievements lightly while gripping our principles firmly. The power of genuine intention in purposeful living, well, it's worth pausing to consider. True impact emerges not from grand gestures or carefully curated performances, but from the quiet consistency of genuine intentions woven into every action. H&M understand this profound truth, anchoring their work in authentic purpose rather than performative kindness. Their approach demands transparent communication, where words and deeds exist in perfect harmony, building relationships rooted in honesty rather than surface-level charm. By aligning their core values with the behaviors others witness, they demonstrate that sincerity cannot be faked or strategically deployed. It must flow naturally from a place of true conviction. When selfless love guides decision-making, there is no need for the theatre of symbolic gestures. Instead, consistent acts of care speak louder than any polished narrative ever could. This authenticity, this refusal to separate intention from action, is precisely what allows their compassion to create lasting change, transforming individual moments of kindness into a tangible force for good that ripples outward with unmistakable credibility. Living with open hearts a testament to purposeful compassion. True compassion begins when we create safe spaces where vulnerability is not just accepted but honoured. It's about fostering an environment where people feel free to shed their masks and share their authentic selves without any fear of judgment. H&M understood that fostering genuine human connection really requires us to embrace the rich tapestry of diverse perspectives and experiences that each person brings to the table. They recognize that our differences are not obstacles, but actually bridges to deeper understanding. They practice the art of listening deeply, not with the intent to respond, but with the genuine desire to truly hear what those around them were saying. They would sit with their struggles and celebrate their joys as if they were their own. In this way, their open hearts and sincere intentions created ripples of transformation, a powerful reminder that when we lead with kindness and allow ourselves to be present with others in their moments of greatest need, we become instruments of lasting change. It's proof, really, that selfless love is indeed the most formidable force for good in our world. The enduring legacy of purposeful compassion is, well, something quite remarkable. The true measure of a life lived with purpose is not found in the applause of the moment, but in the meaningful change that continues to ripple outward long after the initial act of kindness has been performed. H&M understood this profound truth, recognizing that their work was never meant to end with them, but rather to become the foundation upon which others could build their own legacies, rooted in compassion and genuine care. By empowering those around them to continue the work, by teaching, inspiring, and modelling what selfless love truly looks like, they ensured that their impact would extend far beyond their own lifetimes, transforming communities for generations yet to come. This, I think, is the essence of lasting impact, the creation of a living, breathing movement where compassion becomes contagious, where one act of kindness sparks countless others, and where the open hearts and genuine intentions of pioneers like H&M become embedded in the very fabric of the communities they touched. In this way, their legacy transcends the ordinary boundaries of individual achievement, becoming instead a testament to the power of leading through sincerity, humility, and an unwavering commitment to being a force for good in a world that desperately needs it. Living with purpose through unwavering dedication, true kindness reveals itself not in momentary gestures, but in the steadfast commitment to care, even when circumstances grow challenging and the path forward becomes unclear. H&M's legacy demonstrates this principle through their unwavering reliability. They honour their promises not when it's convenient, but precisely when it matters most, transforming simple follow-through into the bedrock upon which genuine trust is built. This consistency of character, maintained day after day and year after year, creates something far more powerful than fleeting goodwill. It establishes a rhythm of dependability that allows their compassionate vision to take root and flourish in the hearts of those around them. By sustaining their momentum over the long term, never wavering, never retreating into self-interest, they have shown that purposeful living is not a destination to reach, but a continuous practice of aligning actions with values. It's about letting humility and sincerity guide each decision and understanding that the most lasting impact comes not from grand declarations, but from the quiet, persistent choice to show up with an open heart again and again. The power of purpose in action is honestly quite transformative. When we truly embody purpose in our everyday moments, in the quiet gestures of kindness offered to a stranger, in the patient listening we give to someone who feels unheard, in the small sacrifices we make without seeking recognition, we demonstrate that meaningful change begins not with grand declarations, but within ourselves. H&M understood this profound truth, that living with intention and compassion isn't reserved for special occasions or public displays, but rather woven into the fabric of how we move through the world each day. By showing up consistently with open hearts and genuine sincerity, they revealed to those around them what becomes possible when dedication meets compassion, that selfless love is indeed a powerful force for good. Their example didn't demand perfection or performance. Instead, it invited others to believe that they too could live purposefully, could lead through humble acts of care, could make a lasting impact simply by choosing kindness in moments that might otherwise go unnoticed. In this way, one person's commitment to living authentically becomes a beacon, inspiring a quiet movement of purposeful living, where others begin to ask, not what can I gain, but how can I serve, and discover that the answer transforms everything.